The course catalog lets you manage individual learning objects in your system, including events, online courses, tests, curricula, materials, and videos. All new versions of training items that are published within the system are added to the course catalog as soon as they're created, even if the effective date hasn't occurred, letting you search and manage all the different versions of a training item. From customizing training completion pages to setting training exemptions, the course catalog provides an assortment of options that will enhance your user's learning experience. Start by entering at least one word from the title. Search results display published and active learning objects. Modify the results to include additional learning objects using the drop-down options. Refine search narrows your results by utilizing detailed information prevalent to the learning object. Administrators can choose the course catalog search framework that will meet the needs of their organization. Enhanced search is on by default. However, there is a toggle to switch to traditional search at any time. Administrators have the ability to completely turn enhanced search off for your portal's course catalog. This is done in Search Preferences. To edit a single learning object, click Edit in the Actions drop-down menu. There are several tabs across the top providing various customization options that will only impact this training. From the general page, updates can be made to the title, description, and keywords. These impact the metadata for users as they search for training. Descriptions also appear in the training details. As you enter keywords, consider your end user's search experience, including potential misspelled words from the title or words with similar meanings can enhance the search results. Images loaded to the thumbnail image field overrides the default thumbnail set in default training image preferences. These images are displayed with the LO title on Learner Home. If a custom image is not selected, then the default image will be displayed. Identifying the languages that are available for this specific learning object allows users to search in Learner Home and global search for training in their preferred languages. Pre-work or post-work can only be associated with online courses, materials, videos, and tests via the course catalog. Pre-work and post-work can also be associated with instructor-led training and curricula as well. However, it is done in the Manage Events and Sessions or Curricula Administration areas. When pre- and post-work is added to the learning object, there are a few additional options. Marking it required, setting the order that the work needs to be completed in, and the order that the supplemental work will be displayed in. Recurrence allows the learning object to be re-requested or reassigned depending on the options selected. Each occurrence is tracked as a separate completion on the user's transcript. This is beneficial for organizations that need their employees to complete an online course, test, material, or video more than once, such as yearly fire extinguisher training. When the active box is checked, the course is active and searchable. Setting a course to deactivate automatically on a certain date in the future results in deactivation when that date is reached. The training is automatically set to an inactive status and is no longer available to end users. This learning object is set to deactivate automatically on January 19th, 2025. The Emails tab customizes any email messages associated with this learning object. System defaults trigger the active emails in Email Administration. Custom Emails overrides any system emails that are configured within Email Administration. If selected, emails related to this training will be sent based on the custom template setup. No emails turns off all emails for this learning object. Availability determines which users can search, browse, and request the learning object in areas such as Global Search, Learner Home, and learning search. Anyone outside of the availability cannot view this learning object in any search results. However, users can still be assigned the LO or access it through a curriculum. Also, curators and learners must be within the parameters of the availability for a learning object to appear in a playlist. Once the criteria is set, choose to include the subordinates of the organizational unit. Set pre-approval, which bypasses the approval process for users requesting this learning object, and register upon approval, automatically registering users once they are approved. The required, featured, and suggested options in the availability type dropdown add an extra level of end-user visibility. Required learning objects are displayed on the welcome page under your assigned training or required training widgets. And featured and suggested each have a carousel on Learner Home that showcases the selected trainings. This is a simple solution to promoting training within your organization's portal. Acknowledgements are a custom statement that users sign off on after completing their training. Required acknowledgements keep users in a pending acknowledgement status until the sign-off is complete. Acknowledgements are frequently paired with materials. This acknowledges that the learner has read and comprehended the documentation. Acknowledgements do differ from electronic signatures. The electronic signature has a default message that accompanies it, and it cannot be customized for the learning object. To create the acknowledgement, check Include Acknowledgement Form box. Customize the acknowledgement message and decide if the acknowledgement should be required. Users will click on the acknowledgement link in their transcript and acknowledge the statement. Once the necessary updates have been made for the learning object, click Save. Sometimes it just makes sense to edit more than one learning object at a time. This is generally referred to as a batch edit. Batch edit is not available when enhanced search is enabled. Once the items you want to update have been selected, click Batch Edit. Only learning objects that meet the requirements for batch edits will display. When you view the options for batch edits, only certain functionality is available. Anything not listed must be updated at the individual learning object. Edit availability can be complex when editing in a batch. There are two options, append and replace. Append adds the new availability to the current availability for each selected learning object. Replace overrides the current availability with the new availability for the selected learning objects. Once the desired changes have been made to the group of learning objects, click the Back button to return to the course catalog.